Hello, and welcome to Tangle Time Arts. My name is Nana Heron, and I'm a certified Zentangle teacher. And I'm so excited to be here with you today. We're getting back into our weekly tangles, our tangle of the week. I'm a little behind because we had so much fun with Inktober tangles. So now it's time to play catch up. So I thought we would do kind of a two-in-one where we do two different tangles in one project. And so for this one, we're going to take a look at Rain by Zentangle and Amaze by Zentangle. Both were kind of new to me, but I think they pair well together. So for this project, you will need um, just a regular white tile or a sketchbook or computer paper, but white is the color we're looking for. A black pen. I'm using the Pigma, the 05. I have a number 2 pencil, a tortillon. I have a compass, or you'll need something round to draw a circle with. And your circle will be about 2 inches, maybe 2 1/4, somewhere in between there. It doesn't have to be exact. And I do have two or three. Right now I've got two fine liners. Got one in red and one in kind of orange, brown, kind of a tan color. These are by Staedtler. But you can use any brand you want, any colors you want, or you can just use black. All right, so let's start by drawing our circle. So we're just going to kind of approximate the center. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. And then I'm just looking for around 2 inches or a little um, a little larger. Let me make this a heavier line for you. Okay, so you want to draw it on there very lightly. I went a little darker so that you can see, but you just want the faintest outline of a circle. I'm going to put my compass away. And then from there, we're going to take our black pen and we're just going to start right away with rain. And rain is very, very simple, actually. We're going to start with a line, and I do mine a little curvy. So starting from the center, I'm kind of going out to a corner. And then once we have a line, we are going to do like a zigzag back and forth. You want to go across your original line and keep crossing over until we get back to our point. And then once you have that shape in, I'm not going to ink it in solidly. You can, but I'm just using very closely spaced lines. But you can totally ink that in solidly if you would like. With this one, I actually like just doing the lines. Let me see if I can get the focus a little better. That's about all it's going to do for this one. I think the lines are just so close. So I'm just putting in those lines. And you can start on the wider end if you want, or on the pointed end. It doesn't matter. And once we have that in, we are simply going to aura around that. So we're just going to put in an aura right around that entire structure that we made. I'm coming back into the point. And that's rain. So I'm going to do that for each of the corners. And you can work clockwise or counterclockwise, whichever way works best for you. I think I will just go this way. And again, I'm kind of doing a curved line. It works with straight lines too, but I just like the way the curved line looks. And again, with like a zigzag, just cutting through your original line, inking it in. And just because I have 1, 2, 3, 4 doesn't mean you have to have 4. You could have 3, you could have 5. Your zigzag could be larger or smaller than mine. And that's where, as you tangle more and more, your creativity comes out. So now we're going to come in with this aura. Right there. I'm going to go to another corner. And I'm going to do a zigzag. Let's go this way this time. Ink those in. And when I'm doing my lines here, it's just the lightest pressure, barely touching the paper. Come back in with the aura. That. And we have one corner left. Just gonna do that. And then I'm also going to do that in 1, 2, 3, all 4 sides. And these are going to be a little shorter. So we're just filling in with the rain. These are definitely smaller because we don't have the length of having the space in the corners. We're just fitting it in like that. This area, we don't have as much space, so we're just going to fit it in as best as we can. We'll go this way. this way. And we're going to go a little bit behind there. Just kind of hollow boss style. And ink that in. And then we're going to aura around it. So when we meet another portion of rain, we're going to lift our pen and travel over to the other side and then just keep going. Just like we would with Halaba. I tuck one in there. Then our zigzag. Ink that in. And put in our aura. Let's just start here off of that one. And we have one more. And let's see, which way do we want to go? Let's go this way again. So we're just kind of, the smaller ones, we're just tucking them into the spaces that we have left over. And we'll put our aura around this one. Like that. So we have this really cool, it looks really cool just like that, the Tangle Rain. And we could shade this and leave it as it is, but I wanted to combine it with Amaze. So we are going to now move forward and get to our sections that we can add Amaze in. And at this point, we're going to use our circle and we are going to kind of trace that pencil line that we drew. And then I'm going to add some little orbs. So I'm adding a row or a border of tipple around our circle. Tuck this one in here. It's going to be a half one. So we have a couple that are kind of half sized. And we're just going all the way around. They do not have to be the same size. They're sort of the same size, but I don't worry about them being the same size because they're all individuals. And with my little orbs, my little tipple, I tend to go around twice. Just helps make them look a little more rounder. I feel like this one would kind of come around like that. And we're almost all the way around. And then what I like to do is fill in these little spaces here if you have some. I don't always have little spaces, but if there are little spaces, I like to fill them in. It just gives it a more completed look, I think. But it's not required and you don't have to fill them in. All right. So once we have that done, I'm actually going to add an aura around. I feel like there would be just a little bit more of one here. So I'm going to add an aura around the tipple. And then we are going to work on a maze. So we're just going to add an aura. And we're all the way around already. That looks really cute. I'm going to put the cap on my black pen. If you're not adding color, you can continue on with your black pen. But I'm going to pick up a red pen here. And this is a fine liner. I like these a lot. It's just the point of them is just the right width for me for some of the projects where I add color. All right, so a maze is interesting because it's a continuous line. You put your pen on the paper and I call them wiggly lines, but I think they could also be described as a shaky line, but I like wiggly better. So let's try one. We're going to start with this section here. And I'm going to start here. And it's just a matter of kind of trusting the process and putting in these wiggly, I guess they could be shaky lines. And the idea is to fill the entire space with the shaky lines. And then for this one, because our tip didn't go all the way to the corner, we can rotate our tile and we can just pick up where that was and keep going. Even though, yes, I did pick up my pen, but I am continuing on from that one point. It's just one continuous line. And then I'm going to end there because I have nowhere else to go. We'll do the same here. We could actually go around this corner and come over to here. So we are going to put our pen down. So you kind of just have to follow your intuition and see where the line takes you. And it gets easier as the more and more you do it. All right, I'm coming around here. I do have to rotate. And I'm going to pick up right where I left off and keep making these wiggly lines. Like that. And you get this really cool organic looking tangle pattern. And it's hard to tell where it starts sometimes and where it stops. Uh, Especially like with this one, we ended up inside here. This one's a little easier because we started on an end and ended on an end. So we'll do another section. This one, we're just going to do this section here. So rotate your towel so it's comfortable. Put your pen down and commit to making this wiggly, shaky line. Just let your heart guide you. So yours is going to look different from mine. Like that. It's a very quick filler, actually. So if you're tangling, if you're doing another project and you're tangling along and you have a nice white space there, but you feel like you really need to put something in there, this would be a good one to try out. And it's also a good opportunity to add a little color if you'd like. All right, we're going to do this section here. Rotate your tile so you're comfortable. Put your pen down and just commit to that continuous line. Let's try something different this time. I'm going to kind of go around here. That. Rotate a little more. I'm going to try coming this way this time and just seeing how that affects things. And you'll definitely play around with it and find what works best for you. I feel like this way, coming down this way, I can see a little better. But it's completely up to you. I'm going to try that again, coming down this way. So whatever you call it, shaky or wiggly or squiggly, uh, just move your pen around in one continuous line and you'll end up quickly with a filler in the background. So we have that, which looks really cool. We've got the contrast of the colors and we've got our two tangles. We've got Rain and Amaze. And then I'm just going to finish this off with a little bit more color by taking, this one's kind of a tan color. I was originally going to use green uh, or blue, but I thought, well, I'd go with something a little lighter. And I'm just going to actually aura on the inside of the circle. So I'm just following the circle around, but not using a compass. I'm just doing the best that I can to be consistent. And then I'll just keep going. This is optional. It's not something that you would have to do. If you like that white space in there, you can keep it white, or you could fill it with Amaze in a different color. But I'm just more or less adding auras here around and around until we get to the center. Well, center-ish. We've got a lot going on in the center, so we won't have to actually go all the way in. And I'm not looking for perfect circles here. I'm just looking for, it's kind of the impression of being round. It is round, it's just not perfectly round, but we don't want perfect. This one I could probably add an extra one in there. And I need an extra there. And with this, you just kind of have to trust the process because it looks like it might not work out, but it always seems to. Then we're done with that section, actually. So I'm going to pick it up over here. And at this point, it's just a matter of filling in those little spaces that are left. Let's see how we're doing here. So it's a lot of rotating, but in a way I find it therapeutic because it's just going around and around. As you get closer to the center, you probably don't have to rotate as much. I don't think I really have any space in here, maybe just a little in here. So we have that impression of circles in there. They're all a little different, but together They work to fill the space. And now all we have left to do is shading. So shading for this one is super, super simple because I'm only shading around the rain and the tipple here. So let's go in with our number 2 pencil and just put in some graphite. Along the outside of each rain that we did. So super simple shading for this. So naturally, because we are shading around each one, the center is getting a lot more shading. So it is going to be darker than the rest of the project. I'm probably using medium pressure here. A little shading in there. And let's see, probably put some shading in there. I didn't put any circle lines, but that's okay because it's getting the shading. So thin in there. And I do add the graphite a little darker than I would if I were just working on my own, and that's so you can see it better. Sometimes no matter what I do, it just doesn't show up so well on the camera. So, all right, I think we have shading around all of the rain, and then I'm going to add shading outside here, outside of our tipple. And that goes pretty fast. All right, once you're satisfied you have enough graphite on there, you can go in with your tortillon. And remember, you can always add more graphite if you want to go darker. The trouble is if you add too much at first, you're kind of stuck with it. So I tend to go lighter, and then if I need to, I'll add more. So let's just pick one and start. Let's pick a corner like how we started. And this is kind of just a back and forth motion around these. Sometimes I use a circular motion, but for this particular one, it's more or less of just back and forth. I do rotate a lot when I'm shading. You might not need to. I just do. this area in here. I'm really not doing any shading with the Amaze because I just don't think it needs anything. You can play around with that if you'd like to, but I honestly don't think it needs anything. I think we're all the way around with that. And we just need to work around our tipple, around our circle. And this is more of a circular motion for me because I'm bringing it out a little bit into the Amaze. But I always start at the ink line and then I pull it towards me. And I think we're all the way around. And that is actually the project. So we have this really cool kind of geometric looking project. It's kind of different from what I usually do. Kind of has a almost like a life of its own. And I think it would be interesting now that I'm looking at it, if we did these in green, it would almost look like a plant. So you can experiment with that and try different colors if you'd like. Yeah, this has been fun. It's really cute. I like it. And Amaze is so simple. I forget to use it, but it's now that I know about it, I am definitely going to try to incorporate that in my other projects. All right, let's fill out our tile. Oh, we need to put our initials in there somewhere. And where would I want to do that? Let's see. I think I'll actually go back and take my red pen and incorporate it somewhere into the Amaze. Where could I put that in? It's so interesting. I am just going to put my initials here. Very tiny part of the Amaze. All right, back to our information. Got my name, and this is our tangle of the week, but we have two of them. We have 42 and 43. We did rain and we did amaze, and both are by Zentangle. Oh, and the date. It's November 4th. So we're still a little behind, but we'll catch up. All right, how cool is that? That was fun. So a two-in-one project with a little color, some bold shading, uh, very fun project to do. And I can definitely see myself using both of those tangles in other projects. Simple, fun, easy, kind of brighten my day. All right. Thank you so much for joining me. As always, I have so much fun doing these with you. And let me know what types of projects you'd like to see in the future. All right, have a great day. I'll see you soon. And remember, I love you guys. You guys are amazing. Bye.